Hello. Good morning, everybody. Really excited to be here. I'm Sriram, founder of EigenLayer Protocol and CEO at EigenLabs. What is EigenLayer? The talk is called the Verifiable Cloud. I'll explain what it is and why we're super excited about this. When people think about EigenLayer today, they think about a few things. Mostly staking. Liquid staking, Lido exists. EigenLayer is restaking. They think these two things are similar, and that's the important thing. There is another example that people think of, like, oh, Celestia is data availability, EigenDA is data availability. So these are the two categories that exist, and people think about these two things. And when we talk about our big goals, it's too complex for a lot of people. So what I'm trying to do today is to make it simple and easy to understand what we're trying to do. So let's start with where we are today. So on the one side, we have stakers, people who put up digital assets like ETH and then make promises that they will run the nodes correctly. We have operators who run the computational nodes. And then we have AVSs. AVSs are autonomous verifiable services, services that run on their own, autonomous, verifiable. If something goes wrong, you can attribute them and slash them. So this is the two sides of our marketplace as people understand it today, staker and operators and services. And the flywheel for the EigenLayer ecosystem is simple. Stakers and operators provide more security. And as you get more security, we get more AVSs. As there are more AVSs, they pay more rewards, and then they get more staker and operator. This is the shared security, the common security flywheel. But there's something more. Just because there are services building on top of stakers and operators does not finish the chain. You have another side to this market. We think of them as applications. Applications and AI agents are examples of what need these services. AVSs are usually very complex. And to consume these AVSs, you need simple consumer apps. This is one of the reasons why most people still don't know much about EigenLayer, is because it's still down at the infra level, hard infrastructure services. And the thing that is new and we want to get started is, how do applications use services, AVSs, built on the EigenLayer economy, and then kickstart a new, bigger flywheel. So I should say that the first flywheel is actually working very well. We have, depending on the ETH price, between $8 to $10 billion of stake. Operators, we have 2,000 operators, starting from home operators to professional to even web clients like Google Cloud running first-party operators. AVSs, we have hundreds of AVSs, 30 plus on mainnet, 100 plus on testnet. So we have this flywheel working, but we are doubling down to expand the scope of what the EigenLayer ecosystem is. How do we understand this? One way to understand this is to think of the cloud. The cloud is centralized, run by a single entity, but is built on a very similar architecture. On the base of the cloud is shared servers like data centers. And so you have these Amazon data centers, and then Amazon, the Amazon Web Services, is called AWS, builds various first-party services like S3 for storage, EC2 for computation, DynamoDB for scalable processing. So these services are then used by a whole host, thousands of third-party services like Snowflake, Datadog, you could say the last 20 years, the most exciting category to invest in has been software as a service built on top of AWS. On top of that, people build applications, whether it's Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Netflix, Airbnb, Cursor, they're all applications built on top of AWS. So this is the cloud. And what we are building at Eigen is the verifiable cloud. The only difference between crypto and non-crypto is verifiability. You can verify yourself whether a blockchain like Bitcoin ran correctly or not. And what we're building at EigenLayer is, there is an underlying layer of shared security, the EigenLayer protocol, which helps aggregate stakers and operators. And now we've built some first-party services we've built ourselves, like EigenDA is a data availability service. The Eigen token is a forkable token. Other computational services that you're building. Now you can mix and match these services for other people to build AVSs. Like we have Opacity, Lagrange, Oracle, all there. There is lots of these services that third parties have built. On top of these services, we can build applications that consume these services and are usable. I should say that the applications is the newest sector that we're getting into. Just this year, we've gotten into applications. Doesn't mean we are building applications, we are enabling other people new useful consumer applications. This is just some name. We recently announced a partnership with Tada. I'll go into this a little bit in detail. Okay, so now that should explain how the ecosystem maps. So underlying it, we have the eigenlayer protocol, on top of which we have a lot of first-party services that we build, like EigenDA and the token computational services, and then other people build services on top, and then applications are built on top. So where are we today? The simple thing many people know about EigenLayer is the lot of TVL, total value locked, nearing between 4 to 5 million ETH. We measure it in ETH because that's the primary unit in which we deposit. We have the top integrators in the world, Binance, OKX, Coinbase, using the integrated into the EigenLayer stakers. So the stake has been relatively constant, but only because new stake has been coming in all the while. Operators, we have 2,000 plus operators. All the top operators in the world are, many of the top operators are part of the EigenLayer ecosystem. And then the hardest side of the EigenLayer marketplace is AVSs, actively validated services or autonomous verifiable services. Each of them is a complex infrastructure services. Think of like Filecoin, think of like Arweave, think of verifiable inference. Each one is different and new categories of these services, very hard infrastructure services. So when we say we have 100 plus, 150 plus AVSs, it's the same as having 150 plus new types of blockchains, not just new blockchains, new types of blockchains, because each one does something very complex and unique. It's extremely hard to bootstrap this ecosystem. We started this because we invented this whole category, and then it's now taken off massively. Okay, and then EigenDA is our data availability service. EigenDA is the fastest data availability service in the world, running at 15 megabytes per second, 10 times larger than any other data availability service that you may have heard of. Not only it has a lot of throughput, it has the most TVL across all data availability services. Recently, Mantle launched on EigenDA. Celo, the first L1 to convert into an L2, launched on EigenDA. MegaETH, many other projects. Avo, building on EigenDA. Really, really powerful services all through the ecosystem. Top in stake, top in operators, 2,000 plus. AVS is a new category, 100 plus blockchains. EigenDA, the fastest data availability on which you can run rollups. Just take a minute to talk about apps. Applications use AVSs. So, there are new interesting applications like Earnify. I'll just take an example to spotlight. Earnify is a lending market. But unlike lending markets, fully collateralized, like Aave, it is not fully collateralized. It is based on verifying credentials using an EigenLayer AVS called Opacity, which is a zk-TLS AVS. But using this, if you know that I'm an employee, I'm receiving this much monthly, compensation, you can give me a loan based on that. So that's already there. It's the number 2 app in the paid finance category on the Apple App Store. So really exciting, all kinds of different applications being built on EigenLayer today. So really exciting time. The new thing, what are the new things happening? So some people thought, oh, EigenLayer is pivoting to AI. No, if for the cloud, AI is the biggest demand driver. We're building the verifiable cloud, verifiable AI, verifiable agents will be the biggest demand driver. And there is lots of categories of AI AVSs and many more people building. So it's a call to developers here to come think about what services you can build. Benchmarking, attribution, runtimes, model markets. Finally, how do we think of the EigenLayer ecosystem? It seems very complex. Normally, when you think about something like Bitcoin, it's low performance and low expressivity. What can you express on Bitcoin? Very few things, just store and transmit Bitcoins. Ethereum expanded both performance and expressivity on top of it. Solana came and just improved performance on top of Ethereum. And what happened then was other systems like Celestia came up and they said, hey, I'm going to do less, lazy blockchains, do less. They'll reduce the expressivity, thus compressing, like, oh, I'm doing only a little bit, but I'll do it more scalably. And EigenDA is a similar one. But what we're trying to do with the whole verifiable cloud is add expressivity, new features, new services that are all not built by us, but everybody in the ecosystem. That's where EigenLayer is the most expressive, most performant system in blockchains today. Thank you so much.